Hey guys! Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, freshly groomed from the groomer yesterday, and welcome back to my channel. It is so nice to be here with you again to discuss once again our girls, Amy and Tammy Slaton, on their hit, critically acclaimed television show, 1,000 Pound Sisters. Now, y'all, typically I've been starting these videos off with sharing a little bit of tea here, a little bit of tea there, stuff that the girls are doing off the show, but online, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to say that this week there's not as much. Tammy did mention me in a video where she reviewed some lights or something. It was a very quick comment at the very beginning that was like,
yes, I seen Zachary and Michael's video. I just watched it a few minutes ago. Whatever you think's true, whatever.
oh, I did see Zachary Michael's video, and y'all, it just is what it is. And I was like, girl, what is going on? I have talked to her privately about it, and while she said I didn't have to share anything specifically, what I will say, in general, what she feels is that the show is being edited in some type of way to make her look bad. But I did reiterate to her that I understand that reality television is not all real. Reality TV does have writers. like every reality TV show has a team of writers, and while they're not necessarily scripting the specific things that are said, like, they do help create certain situations. So I get that not all reality TV is what it is, but I still stand by, at least particularly in that last episode, Tammy was on some shit. Like, it just, plain and simple, it is what it is. With that also being said, at the beginning of my last video, I also shared some clips from a video that Tammy posted online where she talked about a number of things like her walker use, her kittens, this, that, the other, and she has since then taken that video down. So, you know, if you didn't see it before, I'm sorry, but you can certainly go watch the clips that are in my last video about the Slaton sisters. So with all that being said, we're gonna get into this new video. Now, the last episode was a much more serious episode. There was fighting, there was sadness. It was a lot to take in, and I have to say, just my general opinion about this newest episode, episode 5, is just that, like, in general, it was just like a much happier episode. I know that I've said that I enjoy the fighting in the past episodes between Amy and Tammy, but it was so refreshing to just see them having a good time and like loving each other as sisters, not getting into arguments and things like that. So overall, like, this episode, a much better time. Now, were there parts where I was sad? Absolutely, and we're gonna get to that. So the episode starts off with Amy and Tammy going and hanging out with good old Mama Slaton and Mama Slaton's husband, who is their stepfather, and they just are checking in. Mama Slaton's asking like, oh, well, how y'all doing with that diet? And the girls are like, oh gosh, you know, we're trying our best. We're doing what we can. And Amy's like, but I have snuck a few snack cakes. And Mama Slaton's like, well, what about you, Tammy? And Tammy's like, no, she don't buy those for me, which, first of all, I don't believe. But Tammy stands by and says, Amy's not buying that for me. And Mama Slaton knows what's up. As awful and as not great as I think she is, she is ready to call some people on their ish. And so she's like, well, if you're not getting any for Tammy, that means that you and Michael are just sitting in the car eating the whole box. Which is like, I don't know, probably true. But Amy clarifies that, like, when she eats snack cakes, they get like a single serving at the gas station, which is honestly truly the way to go for it. Like, if I ever eat snacks, like, I'm not sitting here stockpiling a whole box of them for my apartment because, girl, I know me, I can't be trusted with that shit either. So if I ever do treat myself, it's like, oh, let's go grab just one for this one moment. So the other part of their little meeting with Mama Slaton and, I don't know, stepdaddy Slaton is to let them know that they are planning a second wedding for Amy and Michael. So basically, Amy's like, I want you to be there because you didn't come to the wedding at the courthouse, so it'd be nice if you could show up for this one. And Mama Slaton's like, well, I don't want to wear a dress, which, like, okay, go off, sis. Don't wear a dress. Cool, that's fine. Amy was just like, okay, that's fine. Just show up, though. Like, could you just show up? And Mama Slaton was essentially like, I can't promise anything. I surely can't. So Amy goes on, though, to share that, like, essentially nobody from her family showed up to the original wedding, not even, like, Tammy. Tammy at the time, that's when she had gout, and that's why she didn't go. But Amy was like, I thought you were not really sick, and then I found out you had the gout. And Tammy's like, well, why would I lie? And Amy was like, that was like her exact response to why Tammy would lie. How is my impression doing? So then Amy also asked Mama Slaton if she would take her down the aisle, walk her down the aisle. And of course, Mama Slaton has a problem with everything. And so she's like, no, I won't. You can't make me. You gotta get somebody else to do it. I think ultimately Amy just ends up walking down by herself. But I'm just like, what is Mama Slaton's issue? Like, why does she not want to do the most basic of things? And I know Amy had that whole video where she defended her mom and her mom's behavior, but it's just like, no wonder they're ready to give up and like fail so much because they don't even have their own mom supporting them. Like, oh, Mama Slaton needs to go. I don't care. I know Amy's out here supporting her still to this day, and this was filmed a long time ago, but that's just obnoxious. Like the lack of support she could give her daughter in getting married, and for no clear reason. It'd be another thing if, like, you know, she said, I don't want to because I don't like Michael. I don't want to because, you know, I don't think this is the right next step. But she just clearly just didn't want to do it because she's selfish. So the next scene is Amy and Tammy talking about Tammy's online boo, Jerry. And Jerry, if y'all have watched the Slaton sisters for a while now, is actually like an ongoing boo of Tammy's. He's not new. I think the show kind of made it sound like, you know, she had just started talking to him. But Jerry, if you've been following Tammy for a while, has been around for a while. He sent her snacks in the past. They're on again, off again. Sometimes Tammy's out here claiming him as a boo, and sometimes she's like, nah. At some point, Tammy was also dating a woman, and Amy just has a lot of concerns because she's like, I don't want you to be catfished. And we know also, if you followed Tammy for a while, that Tammy has been catfished. There was one point where sis had this whole clearly fake photo, like it was a photo of some famous model and somebody was pretending to like talk to her. I do have more faith that Jerry is actually real. I have a feeling we're actually gonna meet Jerry on the show, but Amy is worried nonetheless, and probably reasonably so. She mentions that like when Tammy has been catfished in the past before, she's just like eaten a whole bunch of food, has been uncontrollable, and so that makes sense to me. I get that, and I like to see Amy sitting here being thoughtful and concerned about her sister. I do also, though, get a little bit worried, though, because Tammy is like talking about how she doesn't understand why it's so hard for people to love her. She worries that it's because she's big, and the reality is there's probably a lot of reasons. I mean, we've seen how she doesn't have a great grasp on communication and how to handle conflict, and so I'm sure being in any kind of relationship with her is tough, but it's sad that she feels unloved because of her weight. I really wish she didn't have to feel that way. And she also talks about how she's gonna use Jerry as motivation to keep working towards the weight loss surgery and losing weight, and that seems concerning to me. Just because I think any time that you're putting your eggs for your health in somebody else's basket, like that's a lot, because at any time Jerry could be like, nah, I'm good, I don't want this. And then it's like, you're doing this for this man that could leave at any time. You need to do this for you. You know what I'm saying? With all that being said, Jerry's still out here on Instagram liking photos and things like that from Tammy. So he's still in Tammy's life to some extent. In Instagram Q&As here and there, she also talks about like, maybe he is her boyfriend, maybe he isn't. So I don't really know what the tea is there, but he's still around in Miss Tammy's life. So then they have the bachelorette party, which just looked like a hoot and a nanny all at once. A hoot and nanny, if you will. And it consisted of Amy, Tammy, and then Michael's sister, Angela. And their first part of their trip is to go to this winery, which is like clearly not a place any of those people have ever been before. Amy's like, this is way too fancy for me, which like, in real life, agree. Actually, I love a winery, but truly, I'm not trying to be fancy. They had all this like duck prosciutto. Well, I don't know. Was it duck prosciutto? All this fancy ass food. They were saying names. I'm like, that's really truly not me either. Like, I'll go do the winery. I will go drink the wine. But you all know I'm okay with just like a night in with some White Claw or some PBR. Sis ain't fancy either, so Amy, I feel ya on that one, sis. Amy worried about being fancy though. She says, no worries y'all, I brought my pimp cup with my phallic looking straw so that I could drink this wine, and boy did she drink it. She was chugging it at different points. Like in the confessional, Amy was clearly like wasted and I was living for it. I've never seen Amy wasted online. She's not like Amberlynn. She's not doing like get drunk with me live streams. And so I was living for a tipsy Amy. I thought it was cute. 100% would subscribe if she did videos like that all the time on her channel. So after the winery though, that's when the real fun turns up. So they go back home. Michael works nights, so he's at work. And Tammy has this whole plan for her sister Amy. And Amy's like, what do you got going on here? And Tammy hands her this bag, and it's just like a bunch of paper singles. And I don't think they're actually real money, but it's like fake dollar bills, which is sad because like I feel like you should tip your strippers, right? And Amy's like, what's going on? What am I gonna use these for? And out of nowhere, a stripper comes into their house. And when he walks in, I was like, what kind of broke, poor man's version of Dr. Hottie is this? It was Dr. Vince. That's who it was. And Dr. Vince, with his Dollar Tree ass doctor costume, his Walmart speakerphone, it was just like, this is kind of sad, but also hilarious. Like, he was not what I mean, he was cute, but like, when I'm thinking about strippers, Dr. Vince is not what comes to my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, would I date Dr. Vince? Yeah, but if I want a stripper, I don't want somebody that I would date to do it. I want like the fantasy, the person I would never actually have a chance dating. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been to like a strip club once. I'm not an expert. Like, I'm not an expert on many things here on this channel. But if I was getting a stripper like that, I would probably go back to the Dollar Tree and ask for my refund. Let's be honest. But it was funny watching him try to twerk. Watching him try to dance, and Amy had no idea what to do with the money. She was like, here, just take it all. And then at one point she was like, it was so funny. I thought it was a blast. They looked like they were living their truth, having a whole lot of fun. And so I was really about it. I was like, listen, live your truth, have some fun. You're already kind of married to Michael, so this isn't really a bachelorette party, but like, you're about to be tied down to Michael. So I guess when you got Michael, Dr. Vince is a step up, I guess, a little bit. So the next thing that happens is that they're all getting ready for the wedding, but the morning starts off awful because of Mama Slaton. Can y'all believe? Who would have effing thought it? Like, Mama Slaton's out here causing problems, being problematic, and she's like, I'm not feeling well. I can't come. And y'all, the foolery. I was so mad. I mean, I should have guessed that it was happening, but I really thought she was gonna pull through. And wow, I can't believe it. And Amy was clearly so hurt and bothered by it. It's like, Amy's really trying to make a connection with her mom and wants her mom to be there, and Mama Slaton can't even pull through for that. And so, you know, I will excuse some of the stuff that Amy talked about last time, because she talked a lot about how, like, her mom wasn't supportive of their dieting because, like, they've tried so many times before and failed, and I can kind of get behind that and understand that. But I don't understand just trying to make an appearance at your child's wedding. Even, or Gina from the most recent 600-Pound Life episode, even she made it to her sister's wedding, and she was insufferable. So, like, to not go to your own daughter's wedding, love should find a way. I say that all the time. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. But now you got me questioning it, Mama Slaton. But, you know, Amy persevered, and she said, I'm going to go, and I'm going to show up for the people that want to be there for me, right? Like, we're going to make it happen for the people that do love me and Michael and want to support us. And so she gets ready with Angela and Tammy. She has this weird moment where she's like, oh, by the way, I went wedding dress shopping and literally nothing fit me, so I ordered a dress online a few days ago. It's like, girl, you better get that Amazon Prime. I didn't realize you could get wedding dresses online, but Tammy did say that she got the stripper online, so I guess you really can get everything online. Like, there's something for everybody out there. So I thought Amy looked nice in her wedding gown. She looked comfortable. She looked like she felt beautiful. And I was just really happy to see her happy. Like, that, I feel like it was such a heartwarming moment, especially after seeing, like, how upset she was that Mama Slaton didn't come through for her. So I thought that was cute, and really, truly, the whole wedding ceremony itself was cute. I loved how the team pulled up in the van, and then they, like, slid the door open, and it had Tammy in the back seat, and Lil Bit just ran out and ran down the aisle. I thought that was so precious. Lil Bit, like, please pray that Lil Bit has never been abused in that home, but Lil Bit was so cute. Really so cute, and seeing her, like, run down the aisle, run up to Michael, and then when you saw Michael, and he just looked genuinely, like, so happy to see Amy walking down the aisle. I'm jumping ahead a little bit because, you know, at different points we do see Tammy walking down the aisle, and she says, you know, I'm gonna do what I can to be there for my sister because other people, Mama Slaton, aren't there for her. And she says, I'm going to power through the pain and walk down this aisle and be by her side. And I just thought, like, yes, Tammy, apply that same energy to everything else you do, girl. Because, like, you can do this. Like, you can, and you can do it for your sister. So do it for yourself, too. And then Amy walks down, and then Michael's all the way at the end of the aisle, and he just looked like he was actually in tears. I'm like, I have not seen any emotion on this guy's face besides, and I was just so pleased to see him so moved by Amy coming down the aisle. And the whole ceremony I thought was just precious, even if it wasn't a large ceremony, because, like, listen, truly, if I ever get married for whatever reason, I don't want a huge ceremony. I want it to be intimate with, like, people I care about, and I thought that wedding was so precious. The wedding reception was fairly, like, run-of-the-mill when it comes to wedding receptions in Kentucky, I'm guessing. They did a bouquet toss. Angela caught it. They did the cutting of the cake. They did a first dance. All those kinds of things. You know, I think Amy summed it up well herself. She said, I've got birdseed in my bra and cake on my face, and that's a sign of a good party. So I'm glad she really enjoyed her day. I think she deserves that, especially after, you know, seeing how hard she's been working and the reason behind having a whole big official wedding. I just thought it was really precious. So then they go back to Atlanta to wrap things up for the episode, just to see where they're at and determine if they're gonna get weight loss surgery or not. Amy's the first one, as I think she has been every single time they've gone to see Dr. Hottie. And she had to lose, I think, 25 pounds in order to get approved for weight loss surgery. She has some really cute banter back and forth with Dr. Proctor. She's like, oh, do you think I'll look skinnier? And he says, I actually do think you do. And so I feel like that was leading us to, like, a good moment. She steps on the scale, and she now weighs 375.6 pounds. So she lost enough weight to qualify for weight loss surgery, and like the pure joy on her face was just so touching. Like I teared up because she was clearly very proud of herself, and I just love to see people win. I truly do. Especially, you know, we just saw her have her wedding, we just saw her have to deal with like Mama Slaton being garbage, and I was just like, girl, you deserve to win. You put up with Tammy, you help Tammy out all the time. You put up with Mama Slaton, like you deserve this. So I was really happy for her, but obviously when she left the office, you know, she wanted to be excited, but she was kind of worried how Tammy was gonna take things, because you know Tammy's hot-headed. Tammy thinks that like the world evolves around her, and so she, you know, went out, she was excited. Michael was very happy for her, but Tammy was like not saying anything. She's just like, so Tammy does explain in a confessional, like, listen, I was very nervous for myself. I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything. And Tammy goes in, and Dr. Proctor is grilling her, like, hey girl, what have you been doing? What have you changed? What's going on? And Tammy just gives some, like, real basic ass answers. And so he's like, sis, get on that scale. We're about to find out. So she was supposed to lose, I think, 50 pounds. I think the last time she was around 600, and she needed to get down to 550. And when she weighs in, she is at 587, which is not enough to meet the weight loss goal that Dr. Hadi gave her. And so she starts crying, and I think she's just concerned because she's balancing like, wow, my sister got approved, I didn't. Amy's probably gonna do this without me. What do I do? She is worried that like Dr. Proctor's gonna leave her behind, not take her on as a patient anymore, because she says like rejection, it's something I'm used to. I'm used to people getting rid of me, not dealing with me, rejecting me out of their lives. And so I was actually really touched by Dr. Proctor, because he was like, listen, as long as you don't give up on yourself, I'm not going to give up on you, but you need to show me that you're not giving up on yourself. Like, I'm going to continue to treat you as a patient, and I want you to commit to yourself. And I just was like a little bit wary of Dr. Proctor, because obviously his approach to patients is much different than how Dr. Now approaches patients on his show. I think they're two different methods that get the same end goal. I don't know if I think one is better than the other, but it's clear that Dr. Proctor really cares about both Amy and Tammy. And I just get like warm, fuzzy feelings from him. And I get some of those feelings from Dr. Now, but in different ways. But in this case, I'm just like, yeah, he's like really committed to getting to know these patients and helping them out. And I don't know, I think I really appreciate that. Like, I think that there are ways to do things without like getting really frustrated every single time one of your patients doesn't do what they're supposed to do. So he does give Tammy a new goal of getting down to 550, which actually isn't a new goal. I think that's what she was already supposed to do. But he says, come back, show me you've done this, and then we can keep talking about surgery. So that was it. That was the episode. I had a whole lot of fun with it, to be quite honest with you. It was a blast, and I was really enjoying just seeing them appreciate each other and enjoy each other. The next episode looks like it could have some fighting, some insults, so we'll see what happens. If this is your first video, please make sure to subscribe down below, hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I go live. Leave me some comments, hit the like button, follow me on all of my social media, and have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Bye!